a biblical perspective on life, culture, and current events. This is 2020 on Vision.
Right now, let's dive into what many think is the murky waters of online gaming. Most parents would have said, and most children would have heard, get off the internet. Well, some good news is coming out of this space today as we welcome to 2020 Theo from Theos Ministry, a gaming group that blend Christian faith and online gaming. They've created quite a strong and vibrant online community that shares gaming, Bible studies, and other impactful media like videos and even music, all distributed via social media apps like YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. They're approaching 30,000 subscribers and have racked up nearly 8 million views on their videos. Their founder and director is here to share with us how it all began, how it's progressed, and where he sees God taking the online gaming space. Welcome to 2020, Theo.
Hello, there we go. Good to be here. Thanks for having me, Tosh.
Great to have you with us, mate. You're out there pioneering new ground in the wild west of the internet.
Yes. It's very different than what normal church ministry looks like, and it's actually quite fun. But yes, it's murky waters, and we're looking to develop some new methods at reaching people online. Yeah,
and it sounds like you're already reaching people with 30,000 online subscribers. You're doing Bible studies online in forums. Tell us how it all began, Theo.
Yeah, well, it was actually about a year ago, so it's been going for just over a year. And about a year ago, I had a surgery, and so I was stuck at home, kind of feeling miserable, just playing video games. And I was like, well, I'm here. Why not? Why can't I just share Jesus whilst I'm playing these video games? Because there's awesome. people that need to hear about it. There's people playing online that have never even heard about Jesus. There's just so much opportunity, and so I just decided to click live on that stream and start talking about Jesus.
And so what platform were you on when you decided to press live and start talking about Jesus?
So I started on Twitch, which is a live streaming platform. And I've since migrated a lot of stuff to a few different platforms.
And so for those listening in today, those maybe older than 30, you might not know what Twitch is. Well, Twitch is a place where kids go online and watch each other game, right? A good person will show the way through an obstacle course or what have you, and the others will sit there and view and chat with the person while they play. Is that correct?
Yeah, many people think it's quite absurd to watch someone else play a video game, but the kids love it.
We had Buckle in earlier this week from Link Ministry Network, and he was sharing about the digital space and how it really is transforming, where 20 years ago, 30 years ago, kids would hang out in the street, play in the cul-de-sac, but now they're hanging out together online. Are you finding that's really an untapped market for sharing the gospel?
Oh, yeah, sure. There's, I think all the people that I speak to, I encourage to go out and actually have a real life physical connection. But there's so many people that just don't have that yet. Or maybe they come home and they're wanting more, and so they use the online space as a networking place to find community and connection. Yeah, and tell us, what is it about the gaming community that is so attractive? Because they could be watching video, they could be doing many other things, they could be scrolling on other like post-focused social media. But what is it about gaming that creates a cohesive community online? Yeah, well, I think with gaming there is like an objective that everyone is agreeable on. And so when we're all focused on this objective, natural conversations take place, and that can be about life or struggles or faith, is what we highlight. But there's just so much natural conversation that can be stemmed whilst everyone is focusing on a goal together.
And so with that common focus, you get to sort of all journey on the same pathway together, but then enjoy each other's company as you go forward, all processing and thinking about and commenting on the wild and wonderful things that are happening on the journey. Is that where we're coming from?
Yeah. So we're all just playing this game together, trying to, have fun and win. But at the same time, we're talking about, bigger questions about like life and how to actually, do life in a better way.
And so for a person who stumbles across a video of Theos Ministry, and they're going to jump in and check it out, how is it that you guys bring about the concept of sharing Christ in that space?
Yeah, this is actually a really fun one. I love this question.
Come on.
I use lots of quirky, funny metaphors from the games that we play and relate them to faith.
Yeah.
So we could literally take anything. I don't know. There's probably a game where you drive a car and win a track, and you can say, well, how fast are you racing? Are you putting 100% effort in or not? You know, are you lukewarm or are you hot for Christ? Like, you can make a metaphor out of anything.
And while you're sitting there being objective focused, being goal focused, being game focused, you can weave those concepts into the conversations, and you're finding people are responding.
Yeah, definitely. People love it. You know, even non-Christians, they listen to a metaphor that they might think sounds a little bit absurd, but then they stay and they realize, oh no, he's actually onto something, and so it's quite interesting. It's
quite fascinating seeing the online community develop, especially with the younger generations that are coming through now, that this isn't just something that they do, it's part of their everyday experience. And a lot of the older generations like myself, or even older, like I'm approaching 50 right now, I've had to go deliberately to my children and try to find out what is happening in this space, because to me it just looks like a foreign land. Why would you sit and do this? But in seeing that they're coming in without a lot of the biases that previous generations had around religion. I remember when I was a young fella, if you mentioned God, people would arc up straight away. Their walls would go up, and they'd be like, "Oh, God's going to judge you, and He hates me." But on the online community right now, in this generation where those conversations can take place, how are you finding the person who stumbles across and their receptivity to the concepts of God?
I think when we can first relate something from the game that makes sense, whether it be like how fast the car is going, if they can relate to that, then saying, well, in a similar way, this is how God wants us to live our lives. Like they can understand it in a way that they previously could not.
And they're just you're finding that kind of analogy, it just sort of goes in. There's no resistance that comes forward from them. How are you finding that?
I think in every circumstance you're going to have a little bit of resistance.
Yeah, sure.
But for the most part, people come back with positive reactions, and at least they take it in and go, oh, okay, so that's how the Christians actually understand this part of their faith.
Yeah, and they can see. Obviously, being long form is this entertainment. It's not a kind of a thing where you scroll through 15 seconds of a game.
Well, yeah. There is. We do like 30-second quick metaphors, and then we also like dig into big questions in long form videos as well. Yeah.
And so, in those long form videos where people come on board, are you finding that the way they interact with what you're saying is along a worldly point of view? When they come in, are they first resistant, or are they just listening and taking it in?
Different conversations go different ways. Some conversations, they like react to it in a way that like really quickly is helpful, and they go, oh, you're talking about Christianity, this is how it works. Yeah, that's cool. And other people are more more slow in wanting to give and join in the conversation, and so they'll be very hesitant to say anything and take part. But usually toward the end of conversation, we get some kind of fruit, whether it's just a seed being planted and them realizing what that seed is, or they're joining up to join a Bible study or whatever. Yeah. They're realizing something.
So 30,000 subscribers in a year, that's fantastic growth, and praise God for that, and well done to you as well, Theo, for that great work. You're obviously doing something right with that space, and there seems to be a receptivity with these young people. Where is the big response happening at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, the big response is coming in community. We're finding a whole lot of people joining our community through our different platforms. And then once in that community, they hopping on the games with each other and just naturally talking about their faith, putting in prayer requests daily about their struggles in life, and just playing games of trying to make their own videos that talk about Jesus as well. And so we're just kind of sparking that fire in all of these kids that usually wouldn't have been there. And so they're coming together to unite.
It's amazing, man. And so like you're creating community online. So mum and dad, when you're out there looking at your kids sitting there with the headphones on, they're not just engaged in a game doing escapism. They're actually socializing, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
And so in that socialization, how did you progress from being game-focused and journey-focused and sowing a seed-focused to opening the door of, hey, let's do a Bible study online? How did that work for you guys?
Yeah, so I think I always included Bible studies in my streams. So when I first started, I'd play the game, and then after the game finished, I'd stop and we'd read through a book of the Bible and just talk about it. So from the get-go, the Bible was always central. But once we got enough people to start doing Bible studies, we would host those Bible studies and kind of remove the gaming aspects. So now we're just 100% focused on those themes. So, yeah.
And so you've got those running parallel to the gaming content as well?
Yeah, that's right. So we'll draw people in with the gaming content, and then we'll disciple them with the Bible studies.
And so tell us, like, how far-flung are the subscribers to the ministry? How like, what nations do you have people subscribing from?
Yeah, I've got all over the world. I've got the biggest country that people come from is the US.
Okay.
So 60% of our people are from the US, around 5% is from Australia, and
Wow.
then all the other countries across the world are probably sprinkled below that.
So come on, Australia, we got to get behind Theos ministry here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, where do they find you? Where do we find you online?
If you go to theosministry.com,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the website. It has all the socials, all the information about what we do.
So parents, take that down, and when your kids get home from school, get them to check out theosministry.com and follow the links through to the other places as well. But as we're going through, and I want to ask you a question. How often do these studies run?
So we have a bunch of leaders that help run them, and it's really we run them as much as we can. So last month we had 13 Bible studies, and each Bible study had around 15 to 20 people attending.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, it is. And I think if we had more leaders, I reckon if we ran one every day, we'd get the same amount of people because people are just hungry.
People are just online, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so perhaps there are people listening in right now who are gamers and who've got a bit of Bible knowledge. And let's say they want to get involved. They didn't know about Theos ministry. Do you have like a process for bringing on people who could lead Bible studies for you?
Yeah. So if you go to the website, there's an email attached to that. Flick me an email and we can have a chat, organize a call.
And what are the kind of attributes that you're looking for in leaders who could host online Bible studies?
Yeah, so obviously we have an age requirement to be safe. We're all about safety online. But the process that we engage in getting actual leaders is we vet them, basically. We have an application form, and we ask about their lives, what faith looks like for them. And we just basically want to ensure that they're spiritually mature and they're able to answer, or if not answer questions, direct them to people who can.
And with those kids that are coming, online, they're coming onto game, but then they're hearing about the gospel, they're hearing about Christian thought, they're diving into the Bible studies, they're getting discipled online. Do you have like a track or a kind of a group of teachings that you're trying to take them through? How are you managing online discipleship?
Yeah, okay. This is a good question. I think because there's so many different denominations and theological stances, there is a separation that causes there. And so what we do is we just centralize on the gospel message. Jesus, faith, we are saved by Jesus, by grace. Straight
down Main Street.
That's it. That's
straight down the middle of the road.
That's it, yeah.
At the end of the day, everyone comes together at the foot of the cross.
Mm-hmm.
And how we practice from the foot of the cross our faith often is due to the environment that we come to faith in, the relationships that we have, the disciples who come to us. But that's a great place to be, right down Main Street, because everybody needs Jesus.
Yeah.
And so you'll take people on this journey of learning about about the Lord and online discipleship. How long has it been that you've been running these Bible studies as a part of the ministry?
The Bible studies have been going probably for about 6-7 months. Of the year. And so those Bible studies will teach them Jesus and then flow on from that, how can we live like Jesus? That's where the discipleship comes.
That's amazing. And so for the parents that are out there at home right now, and who are often seeing their kid underneath a set of headphones and up late at night. What would you say to parents that perhaps, from speaking from the younger generation, what kind of encouragement would you give to parents to be able to be able to help their kids walk with the Lord?
I think this is a tricky question because I think the online space is actually quite dangerous, and there needs to be like warnings in place. But there are online spaces like Theos Ministry that are safe and that are a good place for their kids to be. So I think knowing what your kids are doing is really important. And if you don't know, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and there is a responsibility on all parents to be able to, should be watching over the content that their kids are going to, managing the time. And ministries like yours can't do that for the parents. Do you ever have complaints coming in to you from parents that are seeing what's happening and not quite understanding?
No, we haven't had any complaints come in. If anything, we've had parents come back saying thank you. That's awesome,
yeah. Mate. Well, praise God for that. That's quite a testimony. Thinking about the online space that's out there right now, do you see? How do you see the future of Theos Ministry going, Jack?
Yeah, I think it's just going to keep growing exponentially. If it's 13 Bible studies one month, maybe 20 the next, maybe 30. If there's 8 million views in the last year, maybe next year we'll get 30.
Yeah,
I think it's just going to keep on growing as more people hear about the space that we have. More people are going to want to be a part of it and get involved.
And for people getting involved, we've spoken about the Bible college, the Bible study people. Do you have other needs in the ministry where volunteers could potentially help?
Yeah, I've got a whole list.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, if you're interested in editing or even game development.
Yeah.
We've even produced a song for our community to get around. So we do a whole lot of stuff. So if you have something that's somewhat techie, somewhat interesting, we have a space to get you on board and help our vision, yeah.
So mum and dad out there, if you've got a capable young person who's got skills and they need a place to sharpen their iron, send them over to Theos Ministry and they'll be taken care of over there, I'm sure, Jack.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Theo, as we go forward we're going to wrap up right now. We've got about a minute to go. What would you say would be the one main thought that you'd like to share with the parents about Theos Ministry and how it could really help their kid with online space?
Yeah, I think for a parent out there, if you have a kid that is spending a lot of time online, you probably don't know who they're speaking to or what circumstances they're in. But Theos Ministry is a place where it's safe and that they can actually grow in faith. So if you're looking for a space that is safe and going to help disciple your kid, then this is the place to be.
Theo from theosministry.com. We thank you for joining us here on 2020.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.